Hey there, I'm Tony, and I'm about to graduate from Full Sail, and this is my last project. But let's take a step back, because I want to tell you where it all started. It all started 44 years ago, here. No, it's not heaven, it's Iowa. No, it's not really like that, because I was born in the 70s. The 70s came out with some great space movies. We got movies like Close Encounters of the Third Kind and Star Wars, and not to mention the horror movies that still haunt us today. There was Jaws. Movies and music is what I grew up with. We didn't have anything like computers, so I'm kind of a late learner, but I'm really thankful to my husband and to my 4 children who are being very patient with me that I finally decided to do when I wanted to grow up. So now I want to show you my portfolio. For my Sioux City Country Club project, I basically had to research everything because the Sioux City Country Club is really exclusive and only members can go in on the grounds. They do have a website and they have a shield for the logo, but what I did is I wanted to redesign it and just give a new look while keeping a traditional feeling to it. So I incorporated new colors. For my color palette, I went with the royal blue, a gold, and a green. The green is to represent like the golf course. The gold was to represent the richness, and then the royal blue is to reflect stability. The circle archetype was just to go with the exclusiveness of the club. My target audience was for people who would pay extra for quality, better service, just a little getaway for them. For the informational font, I stayed with the Safe Myriad Pro, and then I also used a script font to maintain elegance. The inspiration for the pocket folder brochure came from the current member welcome information is a little front and back 8.5 by 11 tri-fold brochure, and I thought for the money that you have to pay to get into this club, it should reflect more high-end and printed on quality paper. For the website, I just incorporated the same colors and the same fonts and just laid everything out more aesthetically pleasing to enhance membership and get people to come and be more involved with the country club. The Rebels Chop House and Lounge was a fun project. What it is it's a restaurant that I made up for a class project, and what I wanted to do was incorporate steak and heavy metal music. For my color palette, I went ahead with the red, brown, and yellow and oranges just to give it a nice warm fiery feeling. And I also went with the flame because passion, there's a lot of passion in music, and I really wanted to convey that. And also for the font, I went with a font that is used on the Gibson guitar. There's a lot of musicians who play the Gibson guitar, so that's where the font came from. The knife on in the flames is just to convey the metal, and also it's a kitchen element. So that's how I came up with the logo. For the menu, I just went ahead and I used the same colors and laid it all out so it would look like an actual menu. On the back I have thank you and good night. I can just remember at the end of the concert the artist saying thank you and good night, so that's where that came from. My positioning of the billboard that I have, food, lounge, and rock and roll. I've got the logo, and at the bottom on here I've got there goes the neighborhood, and it's maybe an attitude that would be if somebody moves in next door to you and they're carrying in drums and a guitar and speakers. I just wanted it to have like a bad attitude kind of feel to it. So that's how the Rebels idea came up. And again, that was a lot of fun. The urban plank piece that I have is a skate deck company that we were to name, create a logo, create a target market, and collateral for it, like t-shirts, paper, and business cards. So I went with the urban plank name because I wanted it to be geared towards urban areas. For my colors, I chose purple, black, gray, and white. The fonts I used were diffused and Arial for info fonts. On the skateboard, I wanted to have things that tear up the ground, so I went through like a mole, a concrete grinder, a jackhammer, but I ultimately went with the bull because when a bull gets really mad, they kind of scuff the ground and then they blow smoke out their nose and then they charge. And so that's the kind of feeling that I wanted to have when looking at this skate deck. And then with the website, I wanted to be able to have gear, music, upcoming show tips and tricks, videos, and then also where you can buy, sell, and trade skate deck. Again, this is one of those projects that's really out of my element, but I enjoyed doing all the research and I really got into it and had a good time with it. Well, this is my portfolio, but I do have more pieces. If you'd like to see more of my work, I do have a site on Behance and LinkedIn, and I'm currently working on a website. Here's my contact information, and I would love to hear from you. Thank you for a great 2.5 years. I loved it. I'm so sad to be the end, but I'm so glad to have it be the end. Thanks.